Broadcasting from Schnabel Hall on the beautiful campus of Valparaiso University. You're watching The Shield on VUTV.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on our first official broadcast of this 2013-2014 school year. I'm Cody.
And I'm Caiti Blase.
Katie, if you guys remember last year you went off, studied abroad in England, and now you're back. Are you excited to get started for this year?
Ricky, I am so excited to be back this year. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up for VUTV this year, so it's going to be a good year.
I feel it. If you guys have been watching, in fact, here on Channel 82, you got a chance to look at what it's like here behind the scenes, showed you exactly all the new equipment we have, and we're excited to get started.
Well, first off, a German boys choir performed for a full house in the Chapel of the Resurrection this past weekend. Shield News correspondent Teddy Riefmeyer has more.
Valparaiso University played host to one of the oldest choirs in Germany this past Saturday as they welcomed the Thomaner Chor, also known as the St. Thomas Boys Choir of Leipzig. The over 800-year-old choir filled the chapel with music from legendary composers such as Mendelssohn, Schumann, Rieger, and J.S. Bach. Valpo's chorale has traveled to St. Thomas Church 4 times. However, this was the first time the university has hosted them in return. On a previous visit to St. Thomas, Valpo's chorale signed an agreement between University President Mark Heckler and Pastor Christian Wolf to continue musical, theological, and educational exchanges for years to come. For The Shield, I'm Teddy Riefmeyer.
Students can often get a little awkward when talking about sex. Fortunately, BSO and Alliance teamed up this past week to get students to talk about having safe sex. Shield News correspondent Chaz Johnson was there and has more on the story.
Last Wednesday, BSO and Alliance held a safe sex talk for students with the help of Diane Pike, an educator and trainer for Planned Parenthood. She spoke about the dangers of STDs and how to prevent yourself from getting one, while still having fun and enjoying the experience. Students were able to learn several different protection methods during the course, as well as get information on how to stay safe. Caprice Bellawig, president of Alliance, spoke with me on the importance of having this talk.
Because I think most students have pretty incomplete sex education, but there are also, I think, some of the teachers who teach sex ed classes in high school, if students get them at all, usually don't, they use euphemisms or they're not as direct or clear. So I think that leaves a lot of people in the dark about like condom use and I don't know, I think there's a lot of stigma around it. So I think it's really good to make sure that people who want to have sex know how to have safe sex and good sex.
Students were also shown a variation of products that keep you on the safe side during intercourse, such as condoms and dental dams. The talk not only focused on preventing STDs, but also focused on how to test yourself and what to do if you think you may have contracted an STD. Overall, the Safe Sex Talk was a fun way to show students that safe sex is sexy sex. For The Shield, here on VUTV, I'm Chaz Johnson.
Meanwhile, more than 100 students braved the weather for the 3rd annual Gamma Phi Beta 5K this past weekend. Shield News correspondent Alex Foster has more on this event.
Ara Fucci and the rest of her sorority, Gamma Phi Beta, held their 3rd annual Gamma 5K run and walk.
We're having our Gamma 5K. It supports Girls on the Run. Girls on the Run is one of our philanthropies that inspires young girls to have power in themselves. Well, our motto is to inspire the highest type of womanhood, so it's really awesome that we get to inspire that in young girls.
Over 150 participants braved the chilly weather this past Saturday morning to help Gamma Phi Beta support their organization, Girls on the Run. Girls on the Run is a charity that helps girls gain self-confidence through exercise, positive reinforcement, and encouraging role models. The event was a 3.1-mile course around campus. Individuals paid $15 each, and a team of 5 was $55. All of the proceeds from the event went to Girls on the Run. As a reward for coming out, participants got free hot chocolate and other treats.
And many students around campus, as well as Valpo's community members, use the V-Line to get around town. But it can sometimes be confusing, especially with the many routes that are running at the same time.
And 3 Valpo students actually set out to fix this problem by creating an app that would alleviate the confusion. Shield News correspondent Amy Vanderhayden tells us more about the app and the creators behind it.
The V-Line can be a very convenient way to travel around Valparaiso,
But what is not so convenient is finding which bus and which bus route will get you where you want to go. 3 Valpo students have created a way to make traveling on the V-Line easier and faster.
It was really confusing trying to what bus we were trying to get on, and it was just a real simple we were trying to get to Cinemark or something, and we went on the website and it was really awkward going on looking all that up.
The app, called V-Router, features a times table for each bus route as well as when they run and where they travel to.
And I think that one of the biggest improvements over using a timetable is that you get to hold it in your hand, and it's something that you can carry with you anywhere.
There is also a quick router feature to map out your exact route from point A to point B. Justin Wicker explains how this works.
Instead of having to either go find a computer, find a sheet with listing of the timetables and all the routes, or even going on your phone and looking that up, instead you can just pull up the app and you can quickly route. You can punch in, hey, I want to go from Target, I want to go back to campus. Right now it's 6:50. When's the quickest bus coming? And that can get me there the quickest time possible. And it'll say, oh, hey, there's a bus leaving Target at 7:10, and it'll take you back to campus around 7:30.
Currently, V-Router is available only for Android phones on Google Play. However, the creators hope to soon expand into the iPhone App Store and eventually onto Windows phones. For The Shield on VUTV, I am Amy Vanderhayden.
And the Duesenberg Recital Hall has been busy in the past few weeks, this time with an artist presentation being the latest event which showcased the work of one of our very own here at the university. VUTV News Director Hamlet Aguilar sat down with Assistant Professor Sarah Jancy to learn more about her inspiration behind her artwork.
Tonight I'm going to be talking about my visual art, my work, my paintings and my drawings, and also going to be discussing ideas of process and how an artist makes decisions, how they set rules for themselves, how they deal with issues like mistakes, and how that can talk a lot about the artist's sort of inner life and their inner philosophies. And then, of course, I'm also going to be talking about that in the context of my own work, too. My artwork that I do is based on realism, but it's from my imagination. Mostly plant forms. I've been working with plant forms for over 10 years now, and what I'm interested in is the idea of how a vine can also be a line, and how leaves can be expressive and skies can be expressive, and so there a lot of what I try to capture is more sort of my interior, and the plants can be realistic looking or they can be more abstract.
And now with a quick check at your Valpo weather forecast, Storm Shield meteorologist Matthew Schaefer joins us in the studio. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Ricky. You know, another heavy rainstorm. In fact, same number of storms in 6 days. Lots of rain falling from the sky. It looks like we're going to be done with these heavy rains for the time being. It's almost over, but cold weather coming in behind. In fact, in my full forecast, I'll be talking about wind chills on Thursday morning. After that, this pattern's going to stabilize out a little bit, not so much with the extremes, but I'll have all that and more coming up in my full forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Well, coming up, find out which automaker announced a major recall.
Plus, a Florida man is being found dead after being wanted by Miami police. Stay tuned, you're right here. You're watching The Shield on Channel 82.
Interested in the television industry? Stop by our office in Schnabel Hall and join VUTV today.
And welcome back to The Shield here on Channel 82. An accident caused a sticky mess on a Georgia highway. A truck carrying beehives and a load of honey overturned in Metro Atlanta this past weekend. The Macon Telegraph reports that the tractor trailer blew a tire. Local beekeepers were called to help move the broken hives into a grassy area. Fire crews sprayed water to control the bees and the spread of the honey. 2 lanes of traffic were closed for several hours to ensure a quick cleanup.
Well, also making national headlines, strong winds forced the closure of a bridge in Washington state this past weekend. The windstorm kicked up huge waves against the SR 520 floating bridge in Seattle. Now, if you look closely, you can see it swaying back and forth underneath the police cruisers. It got so dangerous that authorities told drivers to abandon their cars and get off the bridge. Hours later, the winds died down enough to let cars back through. And according to King TV, the last time the SR 520 bridge was closed for wind and waves was December of 2006.
In other news, a Florida man suspected of killing his ex-wife has been found dead. Police found the body of Albert Lambert at his sister's house in southwest Miami. Officers say the sister and her boyfriend were carrying his body out of the house in a bedsheet. Several bottles of pills were discovered inside the home. Authorities say it appears that he died from a drug overdose. Investigators had been tracking Lambert since the decapitated and defingered body of his ex-wife Kimberly Lindsay was found. She was found in a sugarcane field late last week. The school nurse had been missing since October 27th. According to the Palm Beach Post, the two had been involved in a very bitter divorce. Investigators were just about to arrest Lambert when his body was found. Lindsay's blood was discovered on his clothing. An autopsy is scheduled to be performed to determine the actual cause of his death, soon to be.
And Honda is recalling 344,000 Odyssey minivans for a sensor issue. The automaker says the problem can cause the vehicle to break on its own. The recall includes minivans from the 2007 and 2008 model years. Now, the fix involves installing a new sensor, but those sensors won't be available until the spring of 2014. Until then, Honda is offering advice to deal with the issue, including asking drivers to start their minivans with the wheels facing straight ahead and allowing the system to properly calibrate. The company says the issue has not led to any crashes or injuries yet.
A Wisconsin man is back home after he says he came face-to-face with the gunman in the Los Angeles International Airport shooting. Leon Sarian was greeted by his family at a Milwaukee airport this past weekend. A couple of days earlier, he says he was in the security line at LAX when the shots rang out.
TSA agent came and he said, "Gotta get out of here, you gotta get out of here." So we started running down towards the gate, and I went this way and hid in this little corner here.
Sarian says the gunman then approached him and asked if he was a TSA agent. He responded, no. The FBI says 23-year-old Paul Cinsancia is the gunman who killed a TSA agent and shot 3 others. Agents say he was then shot by airport police and is now in the hospital listed as unresponsive.
Well, guys, we've seen some crazy amounts of rain lately in the Valpo area. I mean, it's really different,
But it's been
this time of
beautiful
year.
though too.
It has
Kinda chilly, but I mean, really, the scene here in Valpo is so surreal.
I mean, yeah, kind of chilly, but it's November, guys.
Right,
I mean, remember that. November gets a little bit cold. You said that fall foliage been really nice, I think, this year. The last couple of years, we really haven't had that. But with this rain, that's really going to be putting a damper on things. The leaves will be probably mostly gone by the time the next couple storms are through. But after these showers that we're seeing right now kind of move off overnight, we're going to be looking to get cold, very cold. In fact, we should be below freezing by morning. After that, we look to kind of even out with the pattern, but a couple of slight chances of rain exist, but for the most part, they should stay dry. Here's our RPM model look. This is one model's look at how much rain we could be expecting with that. In fact, over 1.25 inches in both Valpo and Chicago is where this model is projecting. We shouldn't put full faith into the model, however. It's not going to be exacted, but you can see basically between 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, maybe even upwards of 1 inch for the locally heavy totals where the thunderstorms set up. So this is definitely a wet storm. After this, very cold. I put up our wind chill map. I know it's early November, but Wind chills are going to get cold. We're 32 degrees in Valpo, feeling like this evening, but watch it dive down to 20 by morning. That's cold, very windy and very cold. It's going to feel, go get your winter jackets out. I know it's November, but it's starting to feel like winter. Here's our weather pattern, basically setting up for tomorrow night. We have this huge cold front, drop temperatures by a lot, the rain, all of that associated with that starting to move off. This high pressure is going to begin to come into play, but it's going to still be funneling the cold air over the top of it. And it's not going to be so nice, but it's going to dominate the weather pattern and at least keep us mostly dry. We're going to have a couple of systems try to move from the north, but I think this high is going to hold strong and keep us dry for the foreseeable future. Here's our temperature model. As you can see, the obviously green to blue transition of the cold front. This is tomorrow morning, 36 in Valpo. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of the 30s overnight in the future here. Warming up, here's basically what we're going to be seeing. Setting up, greens to the south, blues to the north. Not too much changing in that, but yeah. So we're going to be on the cold side, it looks like, for the most part, dropping into the low 30s to the freezing mark again Friday morning. And up again to the mid 40s, but that might be all we get to on Friday. Cold, the colder stretch, but it's not actually too far. Tonight, we're going to cool down to 33 degrees. Those showers will be ending, but here's the big thing, the wind. 10 to 15 miles an hour gusting to 20 with the temperatures in the low 30s, strong winds. There's your wind chill values around 20 degrees, very, very cold. Tomorrow, 49 degrees, very windy. We're talking 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds tomorrow out of the northwest, and that's going to be a cold wind. Here's your 5-day forecast. Valpo, definitely cold weather continuing through even Thursday and Friday. We're still cold, only reaching 49 on Friday, 36 on Friday night, mostly sunny skies there. Saturday, a little bit warmer. We're going to get up into the low 50s. Cloudy, some sun sitting through. That's the next biggest chance for precip in the 5-day, but I think that high pressure will hold strong Saturday. Sunday, again, not reaching 50, 47. Same on Monday, only 46. Sunday night, 29 degrees is my low temperature. It's going to be cold. We're starting to feel like winter a little bit more, guys.
But we're not talking snow.
No, I don't see snow in the forecast right now. I think we're going to get cold, but it's dry for now.
So you suggest getting those winter coats,
get
gloves,
those winter
mittens
coats
out
already.
soon?
It's got them out already. I mean, some mornings going to class, first thing in the morning, I mean, it is cold.
It's cold.
And that's the thing, that strong wind that I was mentioning, that's driving the wind chill. We're talking 20 mile an hour winds out of the northwest. That's going to be cold. You want a jacket.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, great. Thanks so much, Matt.
Just prepare yourself, Valpo. When we come back, we'll take a look at a very busy weekend in Valpo sports. Stay tuned. You're watching The Shield here on Channel 82.
Interested in the television industry? Stop by our office in Schnabel Hall and join VUTV today.
Welcome back to the Shield here on VUTV. As Matt mentioned, it's going to be cold out there, so we're going to move our sports indoors. Regular season for basketball starts this Friday.
That's right.
Pretty
Ricky,
nice.
it's going to be a really big game this Friday. A ton of fans coming out to support the Crusaders, so be sure to pull out that brown and gold and go support the boys basketball team. Well, more on Valpo athletics is Joey Basil, sports director. Joey?
Thanks, guys. This past weekend was full of ups and downs for Valpo athletics. On Friday night, the women's soccer team faced off with Green Bay in their last regular season home game of the year. The game got out to a fast start when Green Bay pushed a goal across in only the 12th minute of the game. That goal came off the foot of Anna Logan. 10 minutes later, the Crusaders would strike back with a goal of their own off the foot of April Cronin. That is all the scoring that the game would see, though, as the teams finished tied at 1-1. The women's soccer team now moves into the Horizon League tournament as the 6th seed. The Valpo volleyball team was on the road this weekend as they were up north in good old Wisconsin and to take on Milwaukee Friday night and Green Bay Saturday. The first match of the weekend was the battle for first place. The Crusaders came out hot from the gate and dominated Milwaukee, taking the match 3-1. Now the Crusaders were tied for first heading into Green Bay Saturday night. They fought hard but come up short on the road at Green Bay. They dropped the match 3-2 to fall back to second in the Horizon League standing. The men's basketball team was in action Saturday night to wrap up their exhibition schedule. They took on Robert Morris out of Chicago. The Crusaders won the matchup by a score of 90-82. Levante Daugherty and freshman Clay Yo led the Crusaders. The Crusaders will make their regular season opener and raise the banners against Murray State Friday night at the Arc. And last but not least, women's basketball season will open up Sunday as they will be on the road against St. Louis for their season opener. For more on your Crusaders sports, including highlights, log on to valpoathletics.com. That's all I have. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joey. Well, Matt Schaefer is back in the studio with us to give us a final look at your weather forecast for the week. Matt, what can you tell us about the upcoming week?
In one word, cold. I mean, not terribly cold, though. I mean, we should be expecting this by now. We should be in the low 50s and then getting down to the 30s overnight, but we're talking about low 30s some overnights. In fact, looking at our 5-day forecast again, 31 is going to be your overnight low tomorrow night into Friday morning. And only going to be warming up to 49 on Friday. We will get above 50, though, once in the 5-day. That's going to be Saturday. And then cooling off again on Sunday. Low temperature Sunday night, 29 degrees. Yeah, I'm starting that with a 20 in there. So it's going to start getting a little bit colder. But remember, we're starting to get back to mid-November now. So cooler temperatures is not that far out of the normal here. But definitely chilly. I don't think we'll see 60s again.
Not until at least the spring. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we still got some time, but I mean, like, think about it.
Exactly.
We were talking before the last break that it's a great time to get out there and to really support Crusader athletics.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, conference tournaments are coming up. It's getting to that point of the year where you're going to start seeing the teams moving into national title games, national title tournaments. It's the best time of the year for any kind of sport.
And then for coming up in the basketball season on VUTV's normal original programming, you have your own show that we have. Valpo Highlights. What can you tell the viewers about that?
Valpo Highlights is going to be more of a one-on-one sit-down kind of show where we're going to focus on athletes in different sports.
Awesome.
I believe our first episode is going to focus on men's soccer. They've got a couple more games left in their season. We're going to have a player come in, sit down with us, interview them, get a real one-on-one personal touch with these players and get them on TV and get them out there.
Which is something different than they probably haven't seen in the spotlight of how well athletics here at Valpo has become over the past couple of years, and really since the beginning of time, really. It's great to really kind of show them and acknowledge what they do for us. So
Lots of new stuff for sports. It's great.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for us here for the Shield. Remember, you can join us next week for the latest in news, weather, and sports, as well as throughout the week here on Channel 82 for the latest in original programming. For Joey, Katie, and Matt, I'm Ricky Cody. Thanks for watching. Good night.